In a world of smartphones that do everything, it's refreshing to try a gadget that does one thing. I'm Mr. Mobile, and the closest thing I've got to a kid is Jibo, the social robot. But if I had any human offspring, I might just buy them one of these. This is Relay, which was built by the people at Republic Wireless. Sasha Segan at PC Mag called it the anti-smartphone for kids, and I have yet to hear a better summation. Essentially, it's a walkie-talkie that works over cellular and Wi-Fi networks. Remember those AT&T push-to-talk phones I covered last year? Or even the old Nextel phones from the dustbin of history? Relay works much the same way. It just can't make phone calls, and it comes in a kid-friendly, water-resistant package. Here's how it works. You buy Relay in a pack of 2, and once you set them up, they share a virtual channel. Push the button on one, say your message, release the button, and it'll come through on the other Relay's speakerphone.
Maneuvering con, cavitate.
There is a headphone jack as well for a measure of privacy, but the size of the speakerphone makes it pretty clear that these are meant to be used out loud. There's a volume control and a power key and a notification ring light, and that's the extent of the user interface. Relay was built to be dead simple to operate, and it is. Of course, there's an app for iPhone and Android, which opens up a bunch of features. Parents can see where any Relay is at any given time, or check its signal strength and battery level. When the app is open, the phone essentially acts like another Relay. You push the virtual PTT button to talk, and listen to the replies through your phone's speakerphone. If the app isn't open, conversations between the Relays don't automatically get copied to the phone, but kids can alert the parent to pick up by pressing and holding the volume button. And if the Relays are having connectivity problems, parents can use the app to see if there are any Wi-Fi hotspots near the Relays, and then the parents can sign into those Wi-Fi hotspots remotely. That's not a situation I expect to be very common. I just think it's cool from a geeky standpoint. The batteries inside each Relay aren't huge. I was getting about a day of intermittent use out of them between charges. I could see myself running one dry pretty easily with heavy use. Charging is accomplished with a proprietary magnetic cable. Kind of a bummer if you leave the cable at home and need to charge with a quickness. Testing Relay over the course of about a week in Boston, they mostly did what they promised. I say mostly because I did run into connectivity issues where the Relays just wouldn't reliably deliver messages. And frankly, that was pretty frustrating. When I reached out to Republic about this, though, they offered to swap out my review models for Relays with T-Mobile SIM cards. See, Republic Wireless is what's called an MVNO, or Mobile Virtual Network Operator. All it means is that Republic doesn't own its own network. It leases space on both Sprint and T-Mobile. Apparently, my review devices were on Sprint, which isn't very good in my part of Boston. I reached out to Phil Nickinson, aka Modern Dad, down in Pensacola, Florida, though, and he had no such problems on his Sprint-powered Relay.
Yeah, I'm watching the soccer game.
Ditto Russell Holly of Android Central on his T-Mobile-powered Relay. All's well down in Baltimore. Republic is dealing with these issues correctly. It's offering to swap Relays for another set on a different carrier when customers complain about coverage problems. And that's great. On the other hand, I know it sounds so simple. Walkie-talkies, right? But IP-based push-to-talk is not an easy thing to make work. I've been following the drama for the past 15 years, as every US carrier has tried to implement a data-based walkie-talkie product in the style of Nextel, and nothing has ever been as reliable or as fast as that old Nextel network. So the frustration I felt when Relay wasn't working was all too familiar. If I did indeed have kids depending on these for communication, well, I'd want a more thorough assurance of reliability before committing. Like I say, Relay has promised to send me replacement units, and also I will say that I was operating on pre-release software on at least one of my models. And this is just the beginning for Relay. Right now, the only additional feature is an echo distortion function.
Anyone remember Hackback?
Well, there's a lot more on the horizon, with Google Assistant integration, music, trivia games, live language translation, all of those promised for the future and more. Once those features go through their kid-friendliness testing and eventually get rolled out, I feel like Relay will have an easier time justifying its price point. Even right now, though, it's still cheaper than most smartphones. And the underlying notion, that of a straightforward communications tool for parents who are concerned about their kids' screen time, it makes a lot of sense, and it should do quite well, assuming it can deliver the reliability that such a device needs to guarantee. Folks, at Press Time, we're coming up on Amazon Prime Day. Don't forget to visit my sponsor, Thrifter.com, for all the greatest deals on that Prime Day. Relay is probably too new a product to be featured there, but keep an eye on it anyway. If you want to learn more about Relay from the perspective of an actual father, well, Russell Hawley's review at Android Central is quite good, and the aforementioned Modern Dad will be covering these as well. I'll drop links to those, gentlemen, in the description below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.